Your eyes do not deceive you. It is in fact 2:47 in the morning. So with that being said, good afternoon, my guy. How are we coping? How are we doing at this ungodly hour? I'm munching on my avocado tortilla because I refuse to start my day any other way, even if that day starts at 2:30 in the morning. And today we're doing something quite exciting. If you've been under a rock for the past 2 months, you would have missed the exciting news that I was actually nominated for a Shorty Award. That gives me an excuse to go to New York in the middle of May. So my parents and I were picking up ship and we're flying to New York right now and coming back Monday morning. It's gonna be a ride. It's gonna be a riot, We're just gonna have so much fun. We're gonna make a mess and then we're gonna leave like nothing happened. So more details will come in a few minutes and I'll see you guys at the airport because we have to leave right now. I'm literally holding my parents up. Okay, we're going. I'm late.
And off to New York we were headed. My bags were packed and my spirits were high. I spent too long the night before packing my bags. I mean, this was no rudimentary excursion, and this overpacker was not taking things lightly. Anyways, I went downstairs to find my parents who were already prepared to undertake this massive adventure. Yes, both my parents were coming with me to New York. At this hour, Mother Nature was taking the fattest piss she has ever taken. It was monsooning out there, so we drove cautiously, but we didn't let the rain slow us down either. After all, it's just water, and we had a plane to catch by the basketballs. Our flight was taking off at 7 a.m., so we had to be at the airport at least 3 hours before so that we had plenty of time to finish all of our shenanigans. Checking in, scanning our bags so that no one was smuggling in anthrax, talking to the angry border official who intimidates the hell out of me, it's all part of the process. At this point, I would like to bring your attention to my sandals. I bought these Jesus sandals about 2 weeks ago because I wanted something less dinky than sports sandals, but not as harsh as military boots. They're so ugly, and I love them. Anyways, on we drove. The rain was pouring down on us with the same ferocity as James Charles' subscriber count was dropping.
That's it! That's the only joke I'll make!
Shout out to the windshield wipers for doing their thing. You're a real one and I respect you. It was around 4 a.m. when we arrived at the airport parking lot. You see, we were too lazy to get a taxi, so we decided to drive my mom's tired little 2008 Corolla to the sketchy parking lot where you can leave your car while you're traveling abroad. It's kind of like kindergarten for your vehicle. About 20 minutes later, we arrived at the airport. Now, at this ungodly hour, the airport was barren. Only the insane people like us who would ever book a flight at 7 a.m. were scattered around the massive building. We then checked in with our passports to make sure we weren't James Charles pretending to be Tattie's best friend.
I'm sorry, it just keeps on coming and I can't stop it!
And x-rayed our bags to make sure there were no broken bones. Somewhere along the way, some machines took our photos. For what? I don't know. Maybe to clone us? We can never be sure about that one. Wake up, sheeple. It was at this point that we were done with all the bureaucratic business of traveling abroad. It was time for the waiting game. For 1 hour, we would have to entertain ourselves with the monotonies of modern life. We'd be sitting ducks, but sitting ducks of the highest degree. Can you notice how I'm literally saying everything and nothing at the same time? Honestly, it takes skill to spew this much nonsense into your faces, but then again, you're all just robots whom I paid to subscribe to my channel, so it doesn't matter.
So it's 5:20 right now. It's starting to hit me. I think I'm gonna sleep on the plane, but I also have homework, so I'm gonna have to juggle everything there. My parents just left to go and get water, so I'm alone at the moment. I'm looking after the bags. If anyone wants to come and attack me, I will hit you very hard. Do you hear me? I will hit you very, very hard. Anyways, that's all that's going on right now. I'm gonna have to pee soon because my bladder is this close to exploding. I'll see you guys in a bit.
My parents returned from their little expedition with their water bottles full. We still had 45 minutes before we hopped on the plane. I was doing some homework, chemistry to be specific. At 5:45 in the morning, it felt like everything went in one ear and out the other. But nevertheless, it was time to board the plane. Sitting in my seat, I was suddenly presented with the prospect of breakfast and I was excited.
This flight might just be 1 hour long, but I'm expecting a full course meal, and there better be one avocado at least twice. You know what? I'm hungry. Not really. It's a free shavakadu.
Flash forward a whole 7 minutes. Nothing had really happened except for the fact that the whole 2 hours of sleep the night before business really slapped me in the face and called me dumb in 3 different languages. I was violently awoken at 6:51 a.m. with the news that our plane was speeding down the runway at lightning speed. My heart rate always increases tenfold when this happens. I hate it. My lungs compress into the seat behind me and my booty hole jumps into my stomach. We were flying. We were in the clouds. The pressure in the airplane plane dropped like James Charles's sub count. I need to stop. And the sound in my ears had gotten all muffled. The plus was that the sun came out at around 7 a.m. and was eager to blind me. Is this what the Insta baddies call golden hour? What if we call it something more appropriate, like burn your retina hour? It was 7:51 in the morning when the pilot decided that he was tired of those stupid little clouds and decided to land the plane. We had arrived in New York. The hour-long flight we had endured was finally over. I rated a 4.5.6 squids out of 5. Why? Because, like I said before, there was no full course meal. I expected to be fed, and no, it's not a me problem, you insolent cow. At 8:52 in the morning, we were stranded. Air Canada had left us to fend for ourselves. Okay, that's a bit dramatic. We were just busy waiting for our taxi to come and rescue us from the airport. It was a beautiful rainy day. I love rainy days, don't you? I often find the sun too pretentious. Like, we get it. You fuse hydrogen into helium. Big deal. You'll burn out in a couple million years anyways. Into the heart of New York we were headed. We were going straight into the lion's den. Or the Shark Tank. I was fully expecting Kevin O'Leary to just jump out from around a corner and demand 5% royalties on the air I breathe. Back to the story. We decided to walk to the hotel to truly take in this magnificent city. We walked and walked and walked, eventually arriving at the hotel. Our room was like every other vanilla hotel room. Like, seriously, Hampton, can we switch things up a bit? What if we had a beanbag chair? I mean, that speaks miles of class. A fat boy! Yes, that's what it's actually called. I used to have one of those, actually. It started to smell bad, unfortunately, so we had to burn it in the furnace. The bathroom was pretty cool, though.
It has been a full 10 hours of madness since I last spoke to you. Now, I wasn't able to film because so many things were happening and I just wasn't able to keep up. So I'm just going to give you a quick rundown of everything that happened and insert some clips that I was miraculously able to film. So strap in because this story is quite the roller coaster. So after we arrived at the hotel, we were extremely hungry. We ate breakfast at like 3 a.m. in the morning. So needless to say, we were... I don't even need to read it out. You can say it yourself. So we went to this place that my mom found in one of her deep dives on Google. It was called the Little Italy instead of Italy. You see, you know what they did there? The restaurant itself, it's not really a restaurant. It's like half of a food market and the other half is like a restaurant. The restaurant is like split into 5 parts. For instance, like one part was dedicated for pizza. The other one was sushi, taco, fettuccine, linguine, martini, bikini. You get the point. But both me and my father found this design quite convoluted because you couldn't go between restaurants, if that made sense. So if you committed to one of them, you were locked in for life. I was in the mood for pizza, chicken, and pasta all at once. So I ordered a panini. It was called the Pulpatone. Definitely butchered that, but anyways. It was $14. So just a little bit overpriced, and it tasted good. I also don't want to know how many calories were in that thing because the amount of olive oil that she splashed on it, it was like a waterfall. So after we were done with our feast, we wanted to go see the Statue of Liberty. And after getting lost on the subway a good 10 times, we finally found our wits and arrived. Now, it was extremely foggy, so not gonna lie, it was pretty underwhelming. After that, my parents wanted to go shopping, so I followed them around for a bit. My feet are dead. Look at this foot shot. There's blisters on both of my ankles. When we entered into Patagonia, I had the other half of my panini because when I ate it at lunch, I was only able to eat half because it was really thick and filling, so I ate the other half there. Now, I've been just doing homework for the past like 3 hours. I'm catching up on all the stuff that I missed today, plus all the stuff I'm gonna miss on Monday. My parents, they actually went to go and see a play on Broadway, but I stayed at the hotel because I had homework. Okay, I'm about to send Twitter into World War III, but I have to admit, plays are not my thing. I don't find them entertaining, except for Firebringer. Firebringer was funny. Again, it's just my opinion. I know that it takes incredible talent to put one of those things together, so I'm not trying to demean anybody's achievements. So yeah, that's it. See you all tomorrow. Good morning, my dudes. So it's just past 7 a.m. I woke up because I want to go to breakfast. I'm worried that they don't have any avocado, so I might have to do some chemistry and actually grow an avocado. So don't be worried if I'm pulling out the agriculture. It's all part of the process. We went to bed really late last night because my parents got home from the play really late. Let's go eat. Let's get this avocado. That was awful. I'm sorry. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time we feast! breakfast. Hotel breakfast may be despised by many, but I adore it. I indulged in the typical North American breakfast, trying everything but still making sure I didn't spread myself out too thin. The French toast, amazing. I rarely eat things like French toast, so I vacuumed it up. The eggs. How do I make eggs of this manner? I would like to know. It was 9:07 a.m. when I returned to the hotel room. Unfortunately, this morning was pretty boring. I was busy editing my last video, and that is what I spent the entire first half of the day doing. It was time I lost myself in the workings of iMovie. My parents, on the other hand, they were getting ready to go biking in Central Park like the tourists they are. So with that, they left me to my own devices. 3 hours later, my parents returned with my lunch, a lovely spaghetti squash salad. Like everything in New York, it was severely overpriced. My thoughts on the salad? At first, it was good, but then the Dijon mustard summoned all of its spicy power and attacked my insides with a flamethrower. It was nauseatingly spicy, so my dad ate it and I stole his chicken meatballs, which in my opinion were extremely stale. Anyways, enough talking about me. My parents had things to show for themselves. My father splurged a bit at some clothing store, and my mother bought a bucket of watermelon. Quite the combination, if I must say so myself. At this point, it was 12 p.m., and we still had the entire day ahead of us, so we decided to step out as per my mother's demands. You see, here's the thing about my mom. She likes to do the absolute most when we travel. I'm sorry, relaxing? Yeah, she's never heard that word. Before the trip, she literally conducted a federal investigation on the internet for places to visit in New York, and it went without saying that both me and my father were obligated to accompany her. So on this fine Saturday afternoon, we were getting ready to go God knows where in New York as per request of my mother. I put on my most dapper outfit yet, and out the door we went. You see, New York is a city of many wonders. There's literally everything, from the hole-in-the-wall taco places to the overcrowded train stations. I was actually very surprised by how similar it felt to Toronto in that sense. I was expected to be bombarded with the American, if you know what I mean. I went to Disneyland once when I was in grade 3, and I have vivid memories of how American it felt. It was this sense of too much, all at once and all the time. Kind of like the James Charles controversy. But I was pleasantly surprised. Aside from the absolutely dysfunctional subway system, it was very reminiscent of Toronto. It was simply a big city. But you know what they say, the Big Apple is full of surprises. Actually, they never say that. I made it up. It was a figment of my imagination. On that note, where did New York get that nickname? And why isn't it any other fruit? What if it was the big orange, or the big banana, or the big avocado? Okay, I'm gonna stop now before I offend everyone and their pet dog. Like I said before, my parents and I were out and about. We were just 3 cats out on the town. I couldn't believe that while I was having this much fun on the streets of New York, I had to go back to school the following Monday. The prospect of anything academic seemed preposterous. It was like sitting on a chair that was on fire. You're having fun just observing everything, but as soon as that flame hits your butt, it's over for you. Actually, that metaphor seems very prevalent for the state of YouTube right now. In the most vague way possible, can we talk about how the internet is in just complete shambles at the moment? Like, what in the devil's armpit is going on? It's complete anarchy and pandemonium, and I can't believe it. Is this why aliens will never visit us? Because of makeup? Also, am I no longer allowed to say sisters? Will I get demonetized? And isn't it funny how we were relatively drama-free for a good month, and then all of a sudden, a literal mass extinction occurred? Every time I go on Twitter, I think I stray farther from the light. At this moment, why doesn't Susan just pull the plug? Anyways, that's my existential crisis for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope it buttered your egg roll, and I'll see you when we wake up from this fever dream.
Good morning. Hello, my dudes. I look like a floating head, so we're just gonna keep it that way. So it's Sunday, May 5th, and it's the day of the Shorty Awards. So yesterday we decided to do some tourism, and then it dawned on me that I didn't really know what I was wearing to the Shorty Awards. But at first I was just gonna go pretty casually. You know, I was gonna wear some cargo pants and a simple white t-shirt, but then I searched up Shorty Award outfits, and then I realized that you can't go looking like an absolute train wreck. So I had to put in a little bit more effort. So I decided to go to Aritzia with my mom. We spent hours in there. We decided upon this dress. It's kind of like an A-line type of dress. I didn't want to go looking like I'm clubbing or something or go in a prom dress. I was also really lucky because I foreshadowed that I might regret the cargo pants situation. So I brought these shoes from Toronto. I've never worn them and I'm scared to. Anyways, so I tried on this dress. At first, I liked it a lot, but then I brought it home. I tried it on. It didn't look cute. It really didn't. So this morning, we're gonna go on a bit of a rescue mission back to Aritzia to try on some other dresses that are like kind of A-line. Anyways, After that, it didn't end because we passed by a Barnes & Noble. I was shocked. You know, I'd never been in a Barnes & Noble. There isn't one in Canada. I was excited. I was looking for books. So I walked in looking for books. I found so much more than that. They had a vinyl collection. And I mean, the biggest vinyl collection I've ever seen. I picked up 5 vinyls. I could have kept going, but I couldn't take them all home because it wouldn't fit in my suitcase. It was a tough decision to make. So first of all, Rolling Stones' Beggar's Banquet. Sympathy for the Devil is possibly my favorite song by the Rolling Stones. It's so fun and sassy. I just love it. Also, props to the Rolling Stones for still being together after all this time. So please don't pull, you know, a One Direction or a Jonas Brothers move on us, Rolling Stones, please, thank you. Number 2, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This by the Eurythmics. Yeah, I've been looking for this vinyl for a really long time. Next, we have Bon Iver. I love Bon Iver. His songs are just absolutely gorgeous. Bon Iver also wrote a song for Twilight Eclipse, or one of the Twilight movies. It's called Rosalind. I was obsessed with it like 2 months ago. I still am. It's the only good thing about the Twilight franchise. I can smell the disarray that I just put Twitter in. I'm gonna stop talking. Anyways, then we have Elton John, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Again, just a classic. And finally, we have David Byrne, American Utopia. I love David Byrne. If you guys know the Talking Heads, he was the lead singer. That big suit moment, I need to wear that someday. It doesn't matter. I could go to school in that for 5 weeks. I would be happy. So yeah, that was all we did yesterday. This morning, I woke up at 8:45 and I started to freak out because breakfast only goes until 10 and I wanted to eat a lot this morning. I think it's no secret that I eat pretty boring food, but I'm okay with it. Every once in a while, however, if I'm presented with the opportunity, I will eat until I can't anymore. And hotel breakfasts really do present that opportunity for me. So, you know, I got out of bed, put on my clothes as fast as possible, rushed out the door, went down to breakfast. First I ate just a patty, some scrambled eggs, some potatoes, I think, you know, keeping it simple. Then I really put my foot in the mud. I made a waffle and put sprinkles on it. It was really exciting. And my mom was shocked. Both my parents were shocked for that matter because they'd never seen something so vile in their entire lives. But you know what? It was a good experience. I ate it. I came, I saw, I went, and I'm not going to do it again because I'm definitely sure I'm going to get tummy troubles later. Yeah, you know it's really bad when hotel food is exciting for you. So now, like I said before, we're going to go on a bit of a rescue mission to Aritzia and return this dress and try to find something else that I like. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling really thick after that waffle. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.
From here on out, everybody, put your helmets on because things are going to be going fast. It was 3:30 p.m. and I was getting ready for the award show. I had taken a shower and my mother was doing my hair. As for the dress, we ended up going back to Aritzia and getting the same one in a smaller size. Honestly, I kind of got fed up after 30 minutes of searching for another dress, so I just went with the one in front of me. The only thing left now was for my parents to get ready. My dad got ready in literally 2 minutes, but my mother, she was more of a turtle. You see, she actually put thought into her outfit. She's a 55-year-old fashion-conscious woman, and she may or may not still be picking out my outfits most of the time. I must say, she looked bougie. Eventually, we were out on the streets and trying to find a cab. Were we running late? Yes, my dad was freaking out. Eventually, however, we hopped into a cab and were speeding off to the award show. At 5 p.m., we were in the venue, ready to wreak havoc. Not gonna lie, there are a lot of people. Some strange, some very, very strange people who I'm starting to believe were not actually people, but that might just be a trick of the light, so I don't want to assume anything. Regardless, it was cocktail hour, and both my dad and I made it our mission to eat everything they had. The ricotta cheese, amazing and scrumptious. The chicken, it was very tasty. The potato cakes, we're not going to talk about that because they were kind of a disappointment. We'll blame it on the tomatoes. Another hour passed and we were served our dinner. I would like to make a note on the tofu they served. All I have to say is mine is better, but then again, I live on acorn squash, so I don't think I'm much of a moral compass. To spare you all most of the details, we ate a lot. Hey, it was free food. What did you expect? We were having a blast, and the night was just beginning. Even the carrots were good. At some point, Kathy Griffin took the stage. The show began. So many people took the stage. I had never been in a room with so many famous people, and I felt honored, humbled, and also slightly attacked. I was the most shocked at how similar these people look in real life to their social media presence. I don't know why, but I had a stupid belief that I was about to be big-time catfished by everyone. But I wasn't. Everybody looked exactly the same. Also, I can now brag that I've been in the same room as Shane Dawson. Take that, Nancy from 3rd grade. During the intermission, we were served the saddest dessert I think I've ever seen. I mean, how is a table of 10 people supposed to share a platter of flimsy little cookies? It's at this point that I would also like to congratulate Mac from Mac Does It for winning Best YouTube Comedian. We were in the same category, and I'm happy for his success. Good job, my guy. But I think from all of this, the most memorable moment of my whole New York experience was when the award show was over. But Kathy Griffin was not. And some demon possessed her, so she decided to go into the audience and talk to people. Now, my mother was petrified, and she was doing everything in her power to not get Kathy's attention. And with that, my dudes, the night was over. My trip had come to a close, and it was time to get our bags ready for a flight back to Toronto. Needless to say, the next morning was a disaster at the airport because we were all still half asleep, so for that reason, I didn't even bother filming. But that's it, my dudes. That's the entire video. I hope you enjoyed it. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next week with another video. Toodles!